Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very first episode. Today, we have here a very special guest. His name is Akash. He's the CEO of Peerlist, a social media platform that I really love. I might say that he's like a Mark Zuckerberg for developers. So, also, thank you, Akash, for being here. And please tell us about yourself.
Cool. First of all, thanks for having me, Raul. It's pleasure to be here and chatting with you. Most importantly, the most engaged user of Peerlist, for sure. So, to introduce myself, everyone, my name is Akash, and I'm a co-founder CEO of Peerlist. I am also a product designer, so I actively work on designing side of Peerlist as well. Peerlist is a professional network for builders to show and tell and network around what they're building and the projects they are working on. And that's what Peerlist is all about. We recently crossed 100K users. We have been growing super fast now. And yeah, that's what we're doing so far.
My first question was, how did you came up with the idea of building a social media? Like, I don't know, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have like so many social media. You were like, okay, I'm gonna build a social media.
I think that was not the idea at day zero. It was a very simple idea. It was a side project which me and Yogini, my co-founder, wanted to work on just for fun, which was a resume builder because we have our work scattered across the internet. Like if you're a developer, you have GitHub profile. If you are writing, you have a Substack, Medium, Hashnote, and everything. And your work is basically distributed all across internet. And we thought, what if we can create one single profile where you can showcase all of this on a single meta profile? And that's what a very simple idea, and that's how we got started. And after reaching, I think, a good thousand number of users started asking us, why not connect all of us together? And that's when we realized, okay, we can do something where all these more than 1,000 people can talk to each other or connect with each other or find each other. And that's when, even because it was related to work, people actually started comparing us as a better version of existing professional network.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, no, we don't want to be like that, but we see where we can go. And because we were connected to users and talking to them a lot, we used to get all these lot of new feature ideas from them and a ton of feedback which we implemented. And that's how Peerless got matured enough to be called as a professional network.
Very nice. When did you start actually? It was in 2020 or?
It was 2023, 22 and 23 beginning. That's when I left my full-time job and started working on Peerless full-time. So I think approximately more than 2 years now.
Very interesting. Because how many people are you right now on the team?
Yeah. So we have like six. Now we are eight people, including like
And you are
engineering
based
team of.
in Pune.
Sorry.
You are based in India, but
Yeah.
in
Yeah. So we are like headquartered in SF, and we have engineering team in Pune, India.
right. Actually, I wanna ask you about right now. Peerless does have any way to monetize the application, or you are like working on loss right now? Because it's really hard to monetize an app, in my opinion, and even more a social media app when you are not like so big as other competitors such as LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. I saw
Yeah.
that you, for example, have like some feature like to verify your profile. You can also create your portfolio, which is a very nice feature, by the way. I paid for the verification, but also I saw that you also give it for free after like 45 days. So it's like, okay, if you want, you don't need to spend money there. So
I think we get this monetization question a lot. Uh, I mean, all these things which you just mentioned about small payments for verification and custom domain integration and all those things, these are all experiments which we have been running around monetization, because um, while growing, we also want to have a very strong signal of things which we can monetize. And definitely, there are so many, because once you understand the value, like as a user, of a like value of peer list and what you can get out of it, it becomes extremely easy for you to make the decision of paying. And that value, what we have figured out is you get that value after at least spending couple of weeks on peer list regularly. And that's why we wanted people to come back to platform for at least continuously for 2 weeks, and then giving it for free after having a 45-day streak, and all those things are
Yeah, like
all part of our
gamifying the
experiments.
application. Yeah.
So that is all part of our experiments which we are running. uh, and during that we realized that okay, there are lots of features which we can monetize, but is that a goal right now? Which is, the answer was no, because we really want to grow fast and reach at a and scale at a bigger number. Once you have a big number, once you are scaled enough as a consumer social product, monetizations become extremely easy. And it then it happens naturally to the product. We do have like paid partnerships with brands who really want to reach out to be visible on peer list and reach out to all this engaged community of builders. And all these are again experiments, these are not the primary focus of us right now, but we do have very 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 strong signal around how we are going to monetize peer list.
I discovered Peerlist. I told you already when I was like reading Twitter all those like indie hackers and so on. Then I joined your application, and just once I post the very first post, I think you give me one like. Some people start like already like replaying my post, and I was like, okay, this is my very first post. I don't have any followers, but I'm getting like a lot of engagement
Yeah,
since the very beginning. I got like cut by Peerlist, which
yeah.
I think is like very good strategy. The way, I mean, because I think you right now you don't have like an algorithm, but
Hmm.
the simple way you are like showing the post, I think it's very smart, because since there are not like million of users, like showing the post in order as soon as they are creating helps a lot to make that engagement.
Yeah, I think you just need to keep things absolutely simple, and
Yeah,
that works. So we did not spend a lot of time and engineering efforts on building our own algorithm or something like that. We kept things very simple so that your energy should be focused on creating, showing what you're working on. That's what Peerlist is all about, where you show what you're working on, what you're building. That should be your that is where your energy should go, rather than getting followers by shit posting and sharing stupid stuff, which basically just to gain followers. That doesn't make sense. That should not be a professional network, that's a social network, right? And that is where and that is what Peerlist is at core, that it's more about credibility than popularity. If you have some really good work to show, you will get engagement. And if you have some interesting questions, if you have some interesting stuff which you have built and want to share that with the community will engage with you. If you have genuinely building something and genuinely asking some questions, so that's how simple it is. We just did not want to overcomplicate things.
I agree. I agree. It's super healthy. And how did you feel when you reached the 100K followers? I
I
was like,
think
we were all like
yeah.
following it, like it was super nice. I've been like already like I think 2 months or three in peer list. I feel like grateful to be there like before we reach like 100K.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's the fantastic experience to have, because when we started it was like, again, we had very almost low to no expectation from what we were building in the beginning, because it was just a simple side project. We had no pressure of building a startup or making it huge. And that helped us to experiment a lot and have that free hand when we are building it. But when we reached like 100K users, crossed that number, then we realized, okay, now shit is getting serious, and we really have to, because then with scale there are different problems which you have to solve. And we get like many a times a question like how you are going to maintain the sanity of the platform once you grow. I think you have to do that from day zero. We have this like very serious vibe on Peerlist. Like even if you do shit posting, people will just maybe won't engage or call you out not to do that and keep the platform sane as much possible. But things get complicated once you reach a scale and when you have huge number of people on platform every day.
Because right now you told me that for the front end you were using like Next.js and the backend
Yeah.
is running on Node, could be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have very simple tech stack. It's a JavaScript.
Is a monorepo or is not?
It's monorepo. So yeah, it's very simple because since beginning we thought we wanted to keep the team lean and small as much as possible. So we are still four engineers team and two designers. That's it. If we want to hire good talent fast, we need to keep our tech stack as simple as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I wanted to ask you like just like wondering like when do you think you will like Peerlist will reach the 1 million of users?
I think by we have this target of crossing that number way before this year, and we are on a very
For this
right
year.
track. Yeah, and we are on a very right
That's
track to do that,
nice.
and that will surely happen.
Yeah. Actually I trust on that the deadline for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
so
mean, we
yeah.
we entirely focused, like so far our focus was on retention and not on growth. We did not wanted to grow prematurely and have a leaky bucket as a product. So far we just focused on a product which can have a really good retention. Like if you are coming, you should be getting value and you keep coming to get that value. That was the entire focus of entire team so far. And I think we are there where the retention led growth can happen, and we can handle at least million users now.
Do Peerless have like also like investor or is it like a bootstrapped company?
I think we raised I think 2 years, yeah, 2 years ago. We raised a pre-seed round of 1.1 million from Dharmesh, who is co-founder and CTO of HubSpot. Yeah, so that was our previous round.
Then it's a good partner actually. Yeah, let's also talk about the indie hacker world since Peerless is full of indie hackers, indie makers. A lot of people like because let's be honest, you are a reference for so many people right now, even more in your own platform. What would you say to the people that are thinking on developing like new products, those all those entrepreneurs?
I think just do it. I mean,
Just try
um,
it, and if it
yeah,
works, it works, and if it doesn't work, let's find another.
yeah, just move on. I think it's most of the ideas are useless until unless they are not executed. Right, they have zero value if they are just sitting on in your mind and you're not doing anything about it. That is where most of the ideas die. And we have seen like there are so many examples of, we have so many users on Peerlist who have really simple ideas, but they executed it and they got really good traction and appreciation for what they have built. Very simple ideas. Some calculators, yeah. And they got reached out by really good companies to sponsor their projects just for the sake of because they have been building good side projects. Many of the people actually got a better opportunity to work with good companies, get a job, and so on. So I think I do have one article on Peerlist, which is ideas are cheap, execution is priceless, and everyone should just go and give it a try and build something, and you will be able to figure out a lot of things. I'll tell you one thing, like Peerlist idea was in our mind. Like we wanted to do something of our own for a very long time, me and Yogini both. And we were thinking, we tried uh, having a service based company or consultancy or something like that. But then we realized that, okay, just stop doing everything and maybe think about whenever we have a good idea and we will just pick that idea and start a startup. That never happened.
Yeah.
Then we just casually had this idea of building a resume builder or a profile builder, and we thought, let's do it. Like, let's give it a try, and that's how Peerless started, and this is where we are right now.
True, that actually was something that I got impact that I saw like so many features in just one platform. So like some people maybe could get like this trap, like I don't know if Peerless is a social media, if Peerless is a place like a product hunt, or if Peerless is like a blog, because yeah, you are like covering like everything related to so many things.
So we think it is as a super app for professionals or builders, right? So you as a professional need, and let's say especially in last 1 year, the entire dynamics of workforce and how people actually work has changed because of the vibe coding or AI and co-pilots and whatnot. And I think we really need to have like adapt to those things, because you there is very thin line between a designer and a developer and a product manager and all these people, right? There is these all these roles are overlapping, and that is why we have articles, we have project launchpad, we have jobs, and we have a content feed as well where you share where what you're working on. So and it is needed because there are multiple, like there are people with multiple roles who come to Peerlist and who are builders basically. So yeah, and most of the many people don't even know how many features we killed so far,
Yeah, I
very
really
silently,
like tell us
right?
something like
Yeah,
like what?
because you don't know what will, like, first 1 2 years are more of experimenting of what will work, and all the features which you see right now are that brings a lot of engagement and retention to Peerlist, and we kept only those. It uh, we killed like at least 2 or 3 features and people don't even know when they went. So
What kind
yeah.
of features?
Yeah, there was this AMA where you can post a question to a person, and that person will answer you and
Okay,
something like that. So
okay.
there were like few features like that. We also had hire my peer, which is basically you recommend people on your profile that I can vouch for these 5 people and for their these skills, and you can just go and hire them. It was called as vouch, and you can just vouch for these 5 6 people. We still have the code in our code base, it's just
Yeah,
behind the flag
you
because
have to
we,
uncomment the lines and then it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we just
so
thought it's too early, maybe right now to have it, and it was making the profile very clunky. Instead of that, we went very ruthlessly with the prioritization and just kept what is absolutely necessary.
keep it simple, keys, ne?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That is from day zero. Like keep it
Yeah,
as simple as possible.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Because some people like try to like add so many feature and I
yeah,
mean actually you have like so many feature, but it like Peerlist keep like short and clean. That actually it's a good job for in your case since you are like a product developer.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
think, yeah, that helps a lot. We do. I mean, because you have spent a lot of time on Peerless, that's why you know that there are so many features which you can basically use. Otherwise, if you just go for the first time, you will just see articles and those 4 or 5 things upfront, and then you basically discover one feature another, and then when you spend more time on Peerless. So I think that's also a fun to have, and we will have more things on our roadmap, which we'll be
Can you say
executing. And
what are you on what are you working right now? What are like
uh,
the next feature?
so we are working on search, and because as we scale, we wanted something. We have lots of projects which are getting built on Peerlist. We have a lot of articles. We have a lot of content which is getting generated, which is extremely useful and should get discovered. So that is something which we are working on, which is searching through all this content which we have.
Actually, I was wondering like how do you handle right now the content moderation? I know that Peerlist is like a super healthy community. Even more like being a social media, the content moderation is very high pain point. So I don't know if right now you have like a team or some person just dedicating on the content moderation, or the community is healthy enough to don't need that at that moment.
I think the community is a lot better. We really don't have to moderate a lot of things, but we do have an algorithm which basically flags when there is this post which is not suitable for peer list or can be categorized as low quality or high quality, depending on that, depending on few parameters which we already have in place. It just helps us to
Does it
moderate
work? Is it connected
more
with
actively.
this AI or just the
Yeah.
algorithm? Okay.
So yeah, we do have like few things
Okay. Secret stuff
which
too.
yeah, which runs, because if I just spill
First.
those, people might
Yeah.
game with that. So yeah,
People will bypass
yeah,
the
yeah.
algorithms. No,
But you
that's
will see like there is
very
this
fun.
HQ tag gets added on some of the posts which we categorized as very high quality, and basically we just promote them to get more engagement because they add value to the community, and they it is something which everyone should look at. So yeah.
And do you have like any also I wanted to ask you, you have like any favorite entrepreneur or some person you really like or you really follow?
I think there are many. um
Like you get
I
inspired by someone?
I think I really follow Notion, uh, the way it is built. I really love Ivan, who is the CEO, who has like I haven't seen a CEO who has such a amazing taste around design and the product building and all those things. So I never met him. I just saw him once
Where is
at
he
Notion
from?
office. He's from SF. So yeah. So I
Does he
think
have is he running like a personal brand or just
I mean, he's the CEO of Notion, so
okay? Yeah,
he
but
really
maybe I
don't
don't know
have
like
to. Yeah,
maybe he has like a YouTube channel or something. I think that's all right for today. We have covered like many topics. As I say, it's a real pleasure to have you here.
pleasure is
So
mine.
pleasure is mine, you really. I mean, you will be like a Mark Zuckerberg in the next years, and it will be impossible to reach you out. Yeah,
No, no, no. Uh, no. I mean, that is like huge. Those are some amazing people. We are just nowhere close to them, at least for now.
yeah. I'm just a big fan of Peerlist, so I also encourage everyone to join Peerlist. I will leave the link down below. Of course, Akash will be giving you likes to all your first post on Peerlist, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much for now. Thank you, Akash, for being here again, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Raul. It's amazing chatting with you, and we'll see you around on Peerlist.